Babamon had passed away, with Griezmon being named the new leader of the village of Dusty Polka. They stayed just long enough to have a funeral for the deceased, and then went on towards the next town to reach the port to the Heaven Zone. Meanwhile, Cat had gone with Dynasmon and Lord Nightmon to the port found at the Mao Castle, ready to get to the Heaven Zone and see about getting them on their side. The four of them didn't take long to get there to the Heaven Zone, where they'd met a bunch of angelic Digimon around them, bidding for where they were. Though they seemed friendly enough, one in particular greeted them saying hello and introduced herself as Anjawamon, asking who they were. Cat introduced herself, Tinkermon, Dynasmon, and Lord Nightmon to Anjawamon, saying hello, being nice. Tinkermon also greeted them saying hello, and Anjawamon asked if they were new there, as she didn't recognize them. Our Mao-aligned Digidestined said that was correct, and that they were looking for help with something. Curious, the female angel Digimon asked what exactly that was. Our Digidestined then went on to explain that they were looking for help to end an ongoing war and help bring back the peace. Anjawamon gave them a strange look and asked what they would do in order to end the fighting. Dynasmon said that they would take down all who opposed them to stop the war, and Lord Nightmon said they would reinstate the peace by force if necessary. Anjawamon then looked at Cat and Tinkermon and asked what they would do to stop it. Cat says that she'd rather follow the ideas of her leader instead of what the two knights wanted. When asked what that was, Cat went on to say that she wanted to help as many people as possible and find out the true cause of the fighting so that they could find a way to end the conflict with a peaceful solution. The female angel then asked Tinkermon her thoughts, and the little fairy Digimon said that she would follow the path of her partner Cat because they were a team and believed in the idea that they could find a way to end the conflict once they know the cause for the war starting. Their team would fight if they needed, but preferred to do it to help to save others instead of just for the sake of taking over like tyrants. The Turncoat Knights both looked at Cat hearing what she'd said, but didn't recognize that as what Lusamon would do, though Anjawamon nodded, liking the sound of that, and said that she could help them see the leader of the Heaven Zone, though it would take some time to get it all taken care of. She then suggested that they check out the shop too, and things to pass the time. The Digidestined nodded, thanking them, and Anjawamon went off to speak with the leader of her home. As the group was left alone, Dynasmon said that was one way to get the angels to believe their path, and Lord Nightmon said that didn't seem beautiful to lie to them like that. Cat, however, simply stated that she didn't lie, and then proceeded to check out the shop that were around them. The two Turncoat Knights were now even more confused, but just went along with that as they explored the various stores and stuff. Tinkermon noticed something and flew over to it, calling out to Cat to come check it out. And so our Digidestined then walked over to see what her partner had found. It was a Digimon spirit. Dynasmon spoke, telling her that it appeared to be the beast spirit of wood. Cat nodded and picked up the spirit, asking to purchase it. And after they'd bought it, she placed it into storage on her multi-tool and then sent it to Nicole to add to the collection. Then looked around more, finding a cute jacket that she liked and tried it on. Sadly, it was a bit too small for her and too big for Tinkermon, so she put it back. Though they then were greeted again by Anjawamon, who said they'd gotten an audience with her leader. They were then taken to a meeting with the leader of the Heaven Zone, who was a golden dragon Digimon with red glove on their humanoid arm, though their bottom half was a tail, and they had a silver head with 6 hardened wings and a holy ring upon their left arm. The Digimon introduced itself as Godramon and asked what they wished of them. Cat spoke up, saying that they wanted to ask that they help stop the ongoing war between the Mao armies and the armies of Yggdrasil. The God Dragon Digimon then questioned how they planned to do that exactly, and Cat said that they were going to find out how the war started and hopefully be able to use that information to help stop stop all the fighting going on. Gadramon then questioned if she would destroy those in front of them, and our Digidestin said that she'd do what she must to protect others from the ongoing war. They nodded, and then a voice spoke up, saying that sounded like what Nicole would say. Turning, they saw Lucas and Gizamon with a small pink Digimon alongside Dukemon and Omegamon. Lucas greeted Cat and Tinkermon, saying that it's been a while, and Cat nodded in response, though the night seemed at odds, probably because Dynasmon and Lord Nightmon joined the Mao armies and turned against them. They'd acted openly hostile to them, though Gadramon called out, "Enough!" getting their attention as he did so, growing annoyed by their action. Before Lucas had the chance to speak, another voice called out, saying that they shouldn't waste their time. Turning to see who spoke this time, it was a blue wolf-like Digimon covered in armor with a massive blaster on their arm. He had two Digimon with him, one that looked like an ugly gnome with a big nose, and the other was a girl with a giant pinwheel in her hand.